I hope you guys are settled well and having a great time. So let's begin our evening for today. To begin with, I would request Mr. Abhishek Mohan Gupta, Founding Curator Bhopal, to give an opening remark.
Good evening to one and all present here. Today it is a momentous occasion, not only for Global Shapers Bhopal Hub, but for the city of Bhopal as well, as it hosts the 4th edition of Shape South Asia 2017, under the aegis of Global Shapers Community, an initiative of World Economic Forum. The Global Shapers Community is a network of 378 city-based hubs, developed and led by young leaders who are exceptional in their potential, their achievements, and their drive to make a contribution to their communities. Shapers are united by a common desire to channel the members' tremendous energy and enthusiasm into building a more peaceful and inclusive world. The Global Shapers Bhopal was established in 2015, so we are a very new hub and currently has 21 shapers who are leaders in their respective fields. I'm pleased to inform you that Bhopal Hub has recently won 2 bids to host 2 of the global events of the World Economic Forum. One was the Shaping Davos 2017, where the shapers from the Bhopal Hub were patched in live into Davos. The second event which we are hosting from today, Shape South Asia 2017, which is the annual regional event of Global Shapers Community, where global shapers from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Afghanistan come together to discuss their local issues at a regional South Asian platform. The 4th edition of the SSA 2017 marks the return of this regional conference to be hosted in India after being hosted in Nepal and Sri Lanka in its 2 previous editions. Professor Scobb, founder and executive chairman of World Economic Forum, rightly said, and I quote, "We must develop a comprehensive and globally shared view of how technology is affecting our lives and reshaping our economic, social, culture, and human environments. Thus, there has never been a time of greater promise or a greater peril." I unquote. Taking a cue from Professor Scobb's thought, we have kept Shaping South Asia through 4th Industrial Revolution as the central theme of our meet. So what exactly is 4th Industrial Revolution all about? To understand that, I think we need to go back in time to the 1st Industrial Revolution. The 1st Industrial Revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production. The 2nd Revolution used electric power to create mass production. The 3rd used electronics and information technology to automate production. And now a 4th Industrial Revolution is building on the 3rd, the digital revolution, that has been occurring since the middle of last century. It is characterized by a fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and biological spheres. There are 3 reasons why transformation represent not merely a prolongation of the 3rd Industrial Revolution, but rather an arrival of 4th and a distinct one: velocity, scope, and system impacts. The speed of current breakthroughs has no historical precedent. When compared with previous industrial revolutions, the 4th is evolving at an exponential rate rather than a linear pace. Moreover, it is disrupting almost every industry in every country. And the breadth and the depth of these changes represent the transformation of entire systems of production, management, and governance. And hence we thought this will be a right topic to ponder upon during this regional meet. The meet is divided into a series of panel discussions, workshops, discussions, impact of 4th Industrial Revolution in the field of education, entertainment, governance, and e-commerce. These themes are keeping in mind the broader perspective of commonality within our region. The next 3 days will see 100 top minds from our region coming together to interact with 22 industry leaders from India and abroad. I'm sure these sessions will be very insightful and engaging as we have crafted and handpicked each of the speakers very carefully. Before I end here, I will fail in my duty if I don't thank our sponsors, Madhya Pradesh Tourism, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants as our principal partners, Dilip Buildcon, Bhopal Smart City as our associate partners, Aristo as our travel partner, Jagran Lake City University as a university partner, Cowboy as a food partner, Pristine Ideas as a creative partner, Red FM as a radio partner, PR 24/7 as a PR partner, and Dazzle Digital as a digital media partner, without whom this event would have not been possible. Once again, a heartfelt thank to all of them. Finally, I would like to once again welcome one and all present here for the opening dinner of Shape South Asia 2017 for their support, because we at Global Shapers Bhopal Hub believe that events like these will not only bring Bhopal on the global platform, but will also represent the country at the World Economic Forum. Thank you and have a nice evening ahead.
Thank you, Abhishek. Moving on, I'm sorry to inform that our chief guest for the evening, Honorable Chief Minister Shri Shivraj Singh Chauhan, is unable to make it for the evening due to sudden official priorities. Now I would like to introduce our guest of honor for tonight, Dr. Noel Tego. Dr. Noel is the EVP of Academics, Management, Accounting at the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. He is responsible for enhancing the quality of CIMA's qualifications, ensuring that CIMA's examinations are robust and providing world-class thought leadership through rigorous research. Before joining CIMA, Dr. Noel has worked in accounting and strategy roles in road construction, the oil industry, and led the financial advisory consulting team for KPMG in Ghana. Between roles in industry and consulting, Dr. Noel taught at leading universities like University of College Dublin in Ireland and the Universities of Manchester, Reading, and Oxford in the UK. Dr. Noel is an engaging speaker on the latest developments in accounting and strategy. He has led workshops for senior financial professionals in many countries like the US, UK, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, China, India, and South Africa. Dr. Noel had his undergraduate education at the University of Ghana and his master's and doctoral education at the Universities of Dundee and Oxford, respectively. He is also a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. Now I would request Dr. Noel to come on stage and take a seat. So please. Also, I would request Shivendra Agarwal, Shaper from Bhopal Hub, to welcome Dr. Noel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce our guest, Mrs. Priyanka Das. She is currently serving as the Commissioner of Bhopal Municipal Corporation and is also the Executive Director for Bhopal Smart City Development Corporation Limited. She was functioning as a collector for Tikamgarh before the current deployment. She has completed her graduation from Xavier's College, Kolkata, and post-graduation from JNU, Delhi. I would request Ms. Priyanka Das to come on stage, please, and have a seat. Also, can I request Mr. Agnes Singh, Shaper from Bhopal Hub, to welcome Ms. Priyanka Das? Our third guest for tonight, Mr. Ravi Kaneria. Mr. Ravi Kaneria is currently the Social Engagement Head for Asia World Economic Forum based out of Geneva. Ravi is a mission and result-driven person whose career has been about developing leaders, creating communities, and designing experiences to unlock. I don't need to read that, everyone knows about it. Can I request Sakshi Sharma to please welcome Ravi Kaneria. I would request Ravi to give a small introduction on the Global Shapers community, please.
All right, thank you, Ishan. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? That's not the Shaper spirit that we all love. How are we doing? All right, love it. All right, guys. Shapers, thank you all for your presence today. Honored guests, thank you all for being here. For those of you who I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Ravi Kaneria. I'm the head of social engagement for Asia at the World Economic Forum. On behalf of the World Economic Forum, a big thank you to all of the organizers and the participants here today. It is a real honor for us to have you all here together, and we thank you for all of your support in enabling our Shapers community to reach new heights and in providing us new forums and spaces like this to help bring our Shapers together. Before I dive into my introductory remarks, I actually want to send you all the greetings of Wadia Ait Hamza, who some of you know, who is the new head of the Global Shapers community. Wadia could not actually be here today for a very good reason. The day before I flew out here, he actually had the birth of his second child. So he elected to opt out of this event with good reason, expecting his second child who was born and everything is fine. But in his absence, he actually asked me to share with you a message from him by video. So I'd like to take some time to share some of his words.
Good morning, Global Shapers. Welcome to Bhopal and welcome to Shape South Asia 2017. My name is Wadia Ait Hamza. I'm the head of the Global Shapers community. I would like first to thank the Bhopal Hub for hosting all of you there. They did an amazing job, so our thanks and our gratitude goes to all the Shapers in the Bhopal Hub. And thank you as well for taking the time to join us in Shape South Asia. I'm sorry and apologies I could not make it for family reasons, but I'm sure that I will be making the trip to this beautiful region soon. You are here as Global Shapers, and you are here to empower our community. As you know, our community was created in 2011 to empower the youth, and especially to help the youth to self-organize for impact, but also to amplify the youth voice. So having a Shape event is answering those two needs. We're self-organizing to have more impact, and you're talking about the fourth industrial revolution as a topic. And also we are creating the table where we need to bring our voice to the stakeholders and to the people in charge. So wishing you all the best for Shape South Asia, and I'm looking forward hearing your stories and your news, collaborations and projects in the very soon. Till then, thank you very much.
All right. A big thank you to you too, Wadia. So Wadia mentioned one thing in his video. He talked about the Shapers community being started in 2011. Some of you might know this, but what happened in 2011 that precipitated the creation of this community? I think I heard it. Arab Spring. So the Arab Spring was actually the event that, as you all know, rocked the face of the Middle East and arguably even the world. And it was the event that Professor Schwab really took notice of. And it was the event that made him realize the power and potential of young people to change the world. Something that some of you may know about me, but I think probably most of you don't know about me, is actually I lived in Tunisia between 2010 and 2011. I was there for the Arab Spring. And in fact, when it happened, I was with some of my Tunisian friends in the streets protesting for the dictator at the time to leave the country. And it was a very powerful moment for me because you know, I'm American, born and raised, Indian origin, but born and raised in New Jersey. And in America, we hold dear, just like India does, the ideals of democracy, of freedom, of human rights. And for the first time in my life, I think it was actually in Tunisia that those ideals became real. when I saw it etched on the faces of my friends, the tears of what it actually meant to them to risk their lives to be free. And what's really powerful when we think about that moment in the Arab Spring is actually, I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for the Arab Spring. And none of you would be here today in this room together as a community if it wasn't for the spark that that singular moment created, and that all the energy and the sacrifice of young people, and even some older people in Tunisia led to. And I share that because I think it really demonstrates the potential and the power, not just of that one historical event, but of all of you and us as a global Shapers community. Most of you know, and for our distinguished guests today from outside of the Shapers community, I think it's important to know that our community is founded on two primary missions. The first mission is to raise the voice of young people to the ear of global stakeholders and influencers around the world. The second is that the mission of our community is to have an impact locally, to change the lives of people in ways that maybe nobody else in the forum can. The Global Shapers is a community of 6,000 people spread out all around the world. We are the largest community in the World Economic Forum. And we exist in places like Kohima and Imphal, in places like Coimbatore and Hubli, places that we don't have a lot of other reach. And so the Global Shapers community is unique in the World Economic Forum because you guys are the ones on the ground who can actually make the change. My dream for this community in South Asia and for globally is that we never forget about these two missions, right? We have a lot of events and we have a lot of opportunities and networking, but this community isn't about any of those things. This community is actually about the things that you can do to change the life of people in your cities. One day, most of you will hopefully become Shapers alumni. And when you are, I want you to be able to walk in your cities and see a young girl going to university who started her journey towards education because of a project that you did. I want you guys to live in a city where one day when you're old, your grandchildren will be able to appreciate the trees that you planted that are still there dozens of years, decades from now, still providing fresh air for people in your cities. I want to see an India where in your city, 50 years from now, your grandchildren can go swimming in a lake or a river that they couldn't swim in today. But it's because you did something to help change that and to make it better. So I hope you all remember this. I'm so proud of all of you, and we at the World Economic Forum are so proud of all of the work that you guys are doing. I hope that you will remember these two missions, and I look forward to welcoming you all the next few days and to engaging a lot more with you guys. But thank you all so much for being here, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing for the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Now I would request Mrs. Priyanka Das to give a presentation on Bhopal, the lighthouse city.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. It is indeed a pleasure to be amongst you all, Shapers. And what I feel about Shapers is that you all are doers, which is very important today. And for administrators to work along with doers to create something meaningful. And so I would proceed to my presentation on the Bhopal Smart City. Most of you all would want to know what we are planning, what we are doing, and we are very open to suggestions, because though we have started the execution, but there is still room for a lot of suggestions. And since it's an evolving landscape, any input which is meaningful and which will help us build good cities would be welcome. Thank you. Bhopal, a lighthouse city. We call it a lighthouse city because when the Smart Cities Challenge was introduced, it was for 100 cities, and the first 20 cities that made the cut are called lighthouse cities because we were expected to do the execution first and be role models for the rest. And what the vision was, which made us win the proposal, was that transforming Bhopal, which is a city of lakes, tradition and heritage, into a leading destination for smart, connected, eco-friendly communities focused on education, research, entrepreneurship and tourism. What we tried to do was to build on the character of the city, to enhance its positivity and make a proposal which would be meaningful for the community. One aspect of our smart city proposal was we envisioned redevelopment. If you would compare our proposals with the rest, many cities opted for either retrofitting the older parts of the city or going in for a greenfield development. What we did, what we tried is to redevelop the heart of the city and create assets and bring in smart features. And the proposal obviously was to bring in smart features based on IoT, since the topic is on the fourth industrial revolution, and I think without the Internet of Things, we cannot envisage a fourth industrial revolution. We have to build on the ICT to take our initiatives forward. The proposal envisaged two things. One, we had to have a few pan-city initiatives, certain initiatives which would touch all, and the second was an area-based intervention wherein we planned redevelopment of the TT Nagar area. The total project cost for our smart city proposal was for 3,437 crores. If we talk about Bhopal and why is it a lighthouse city and why it's taking an urban leap, is because we are having investments in the following segments that you can see, and to the tune of 14,000 plus crores. The Bhopal Metro Rail, which is being envisaged, the Smart City proposal, which is already on ground, housing for all, sewerage, drainage, water supply through another scheme called Amrut, heritage conservation, which is at the heart of the Smart City proposal and is also being pursued through other state schemes. Development of green spaces and parks, and also the solid waste management. And if you all are aware, Bhopal is actually the cleanest capital city, because in the previous Swachh rankings, Bhopal came second, Indore was first, but we were the cleanest capital city. Now coming on to, I think the most interesting feature of my presentation, which would interest the youth, was Bhopal Living Labs. It is basically an incubation center which we are planning, which we are about to execute as part of our smart city proposal. What we envisage is to help our youth build on the startup ideas that they have. And what we have as an offering is we are planning to give managed office space, help you nurture your idea through business modeling. Once we think that the idea is not just half-baked, but it's ready to take off, we help you with advertising and marketing services. We are willing to offer financial services, training services, which includes mentoring, bringing you in touch with people who are in the field or in the league who can give you valuable inputs, legal and IPR advisory services, industrial infrastructure in terms of tie-ups with our industry department, networking services, and after incubation support services so that the ideas actually take root. So I think through smart cities, the best way we thought we could engage with the youth was to provide them a platform wherein their bright ideas or the big idea that the youth, has and transform it into a successful business enterprise. Our collaborations are with Intac, IGBC, Manit, WRI, RGPV, Cisco, FICCI and SPA, and these are a few names to begin with, and the list is very long and illustrious, but this is just to give you a glimpse of the associations that we have. Now coming on to the Internet of Things or the ICT innovations that we are planning under the Smart Cities initiatives. One is we are talking about smart poles. What is a smart pole? Wherein it's not just a pole for lighting or intelligent lighting, but we are also talking about surveillance cameras, environmental sensors, giving you Wi-Fi hotspots, electrical vehicle charging spots, and the most important thing is we do it free of cost because it's on a PPP model. We ask the business partner to come and install it, and the revenue sharing model is we allow them to use the pole to have install their antennas for the telecom operators. So the revenue earning is through providing the right of way for the telecom operators. The city does not spend anything, the citizens get to benefit the maximum. And this work has already started. It's being done by a consortium of Bharti Infratel, and we plan to have 400 such smart poles in the city. The next thing that we have already launched is, and I'm sure few of you all must be aware of it, is the Bhopal Plus, the Smart City app. It is again one integrated app through which you can get access to all our municipal services. This is again making it easy for the citizens to interact or to have an interface with the government. Another important thing that we are doing is we are creating a map, Bhopal Smart Map. In today's world, if we have to succeed even in planning and execution, what is very important is data, data creation and data analytics. And it is not possible if you do not have the right kind of data. When we are talking about municipal administration, we deal with roads, sewage networks, water supply pipelines, and life can actually be hell if you do not know which pipeline is leaking at what point of time, and you cannot redress the grievances of the people properly. So a very detailed exercise is being undertaken where we are creating a proper map, GIS based map, wherein there are 92 layers, and we are mapping all our utilities onto it so that it will help us cater to the needs of the people effectively. Another initiative of the Smart City Bhopal is public bike sharing, and I'm very pleased to inform that we have also won an award for it in the non-motorized sector in the Urban Mobility Awards India, that is happening. That's starting from tomorrow in Hyderabad. And it is again a model wherein we have 50 stations, 500 bicycles, fully automated. It's not manned by anybody. All you need to do is register onto one-time registration is required. It's again on an app mode, also available through our website. And once you have registered, you can have access to any one of our cycles from any one of those 50 locations and use it, and then again drop off at any other cycle location. And what is heartening is we already have 25,000 registered users, and I'm sure through this group of shapers we will be able to spread the message, because right now we find thank you. Right now we find the tourists who come to Bhopal are yet to know about this initiative and yet to use it. They feel that it is a service which is only for the citizens. It's not. Anybody who's just landed in Bhopal even tonight can register and pay a fee. one-time deposit is 500 rupees. But if you use the cycle for 1 hour, only 10 rupees gets deducted. We refund 490 to you. So you can just have your 1 hour of cycling and again fly back to whichever destination you've come from. But you get to use our cycles. And these are German bikes, lightweight and very easy to use. So I would urge all the shapers who've come from across the globe and across India to do have a ride and give us a feedback. So like I explained, the PBS mobile application is as simple as that. You join, you unlock, you ride, you lock and you return. We also have a bicycle track, a dedicated track. But I believe, because I got a glimpse of your schedule, you all are going to One Vihar. So there we have a docking station. So you can actually use the cycle inside One Vihar, and at the other gate you can drop it off. We come to smart parking. We are again giving the citizens of Bhopal ease of parking through smart parking, wherein there are sensors and boom barriers, and you can again pre-book your slots. It is also available on an app mode. Just a second. Another important initiative is place making, because we understand that in order to make a city livable, you need to have public places which are not drab and boring, but interactive, which energizes the people and which makes people spend some time together outside their homes and at free of cost. So we are also engaging in place making activities. We'll pick up few patches within the city and convert it into more livable spaces. Another part of Smart City initiative is an integrated command and control center. This we have recently tendered out, and here what we envisage is we have a cloud-based data center and disaster recovery system, and all the intelligent or ICT based initiatives which are there will get integrated on a single platform, and it is a pay as you grow model. So we are not investing money in creating a data center and spending crores. Rather we have a sort of a system wherein we are first building our apps and then we are linking it and integrating it on a single cloud based platform. For people who are interested in the details, it is like a cloud-based DC and DR. It is an integrated platform for the state, and it's a state-level analytical platform. Why I say so is, in Madhya Pradesh, we have 7 cities which are smart cities. Each city will have its own initiative, say its own parking initiative, its own BRT system or other initiatives, street lighting system. But it is unified at the level of Bhopal, wherein the central administrator, the Commissioner Urban Development or the PS Urban Development can monitor and see each and every initiative and analyze the data, so which will again help the cities improve their services. Like I said, we have conservation at the heart of the smart city proposal. What we have done is, there's a landmark architecture called Sadar Manzil in Old Bhopal. It was built in the time of the Nawabs, and since 1960 it was used as the headquarter building for the municipal corporation. After winning the Smart City Challenge, we thought that this cannot be used as an administrative headquarter. We wanted it to change to a town hall sort of a concept, to make it a landmark architecture, to conserve it properly and to use it in a way which is more meaningful to the citizens rather than using it as an administrative headquarter. Coming on to the integrated solid waste management system, how we became the cleanest city, cleanest capital is by ensuring door-to-door collection, wherein we integrated our rag pickers, and it was an inclusive model. We encouraged them to participate along with us, help us collect the garbage, and then process it. We also have a biomethanization plant which is working in Witten market, and on a larger scale we want to install a waste to energy plant wherein we can create energy out of the waste. But now taking it forward, we are introducing segregation because we want to become cities that segregate. So now we are focusing on segregation in our door-to-door collection, and we are moving on to on-site composting for our bulk waste generators. Green and blue master plan. Why we say so is we are a green city and it is a city of lakes, and once we started talking about smart cities, there was a big misconception that we are somehow going to curtail the green spaces or destroy the ecological habitat and, you know, have a sort of unplanned urban development. So in order to make people understand and prove to the world at large that it's not, whenever we talk about urbanism, it does not mean that we are trying to destroy our cities. We are trying to create cities and city spaces which will be in sync with nature, be in sync with the ecological habitat. So we are actually going into very detailed planning for our green spaces and to conserve all the lakes that Bhopal is very proud to have. Area-based development, I won't speak much about it because there's a video wherein you all will get a glimpse or a teaser as to how our city space will come up. Only point to make is that we have linked it with our transit-oriented development because we have the metro coming up, and the site was selected wherein we have taken up 2 nodes of the metro stations, and we have tried to build the urban spaces around it. Now this is the existing land use. You can see, have a comparison, and this is the proposed land use of the area-based development that we are having, and you can see that the existing roads and open spaces right now is 23.4, but after we have the urban area-based development done, we plan to have proposed roads and open spaces to 42%, and we are not going in for all vertical growth. It's not that we are using maximum FSI and building skyscrapers and then claiming that we have created open spaces. We have planned it intelligently, wherein yes, we go vertical, but we conserve the essence of the city and the ecology. What the area-based development have is, of course, parking, water supply, sewage treatment facility, domestic gas, solid waste, power, district cooling, ICT, utility tunnel, accessibility, green township or neighborhood, and signage. This is how a utility duct would look, and we've started work on the smart road wherein we plan to have the sewer network, the water network, the OFC cable, everything put into a systematic duct, and that gets mapped so that we know which area to dig into and which pipeline to look into when we have a problem. Like we've said, the cleanest capital city, and this is a picture where Venkaiah Naiduji is actually honoring our mayor and the previous commissioner, Mrs. Chavi Bhardwaj, and Mr. Malay Srivastav, our PS. Thank you, and I think we can have the video.
Lighthouse city amongst the smart cities, a smart city that is more responsive to its citizens. that preserves its environment, that's cost-effective and safe, that is more connected to each other. India's lighthouse for development. Smart City Bhopal, selected in the first round of 100 Smart Cities mission launched by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. Bhopal is fast becoming a model smart city that envisions redevelopment-driven urban overhaul by unlocking the value of sub-optimally utilized land parcels to enhance livability, workability and sustainability of the city while keeping its socio-cultural fabric intact. All plans under this initiative are strategically planned to boost economy, employment, ecosystem, education, through technology and infrastructure to connect, prosper, govern and conserve. Ease to connect. Installation of intelligent solar-powered LED smart poles offering public Wi-Fi services with a 200-kilometer optical fiber network that will cover and connect the entire city with a 4-core data flow, enabling real-time monitoring and alerts, making Bhopal much better connected. Introducing the Bhopal Plus Smart App that connects the citizens with the administration by providing instant electronic access to information, services and interaction with officials to offer suggestions and feedback. A 90-layered Geographical Information System, GIS, is a one-stop interactive destination that will serve as the brain of the city, with information stored for residents and visitors to discover, consume and share, offering vital knowledge of things like master plans and utility networks. Boosting Bhopal's culture, heritage, educational centers, medical services and trade centers to boost business and tourism. Installation of surveillance cameras to help connect traffic and improve standards of security. The intelligent transport system in Bhopal city operates through city buses equipped with GPS-based AVLS systems connected to a high-tech control and command center. The real-time tracking and monitoring of the city buses provides safe and reliable transport to the city commuters. Ease to prosper. The Smart Cities Incubation Center is a living lab set to identify and support potential cutting-edge information technology entrepreneurs with viable business plans, providing technical assistance, development aid and managed workspace, connecting researchers and entrepreneurs to commercialize innovations and catalyze economic and social growth of the region as well as the country, and encouraging entrepreneurship amongst youth. Also, providing opportunities and extending technical help to facilitate startups. Ease to govern. Focused area-based development envisions Bhopal with 100% greener neighborhoods within 342 acres in central Bhopal's Tope Nagar, creating 15 million square foot of built space in CBD promises to be a landmark in tactical urbanization. An integrated control and command center is fast taking shape that will strategically work to converge the state, central, local governments to one place and provide better connection, coordination and control over plans, making governance easier, efficient and effective. Ease to conserve. Bhopal Smart City Vision is taking multiple steps to curb the use of conventional resources of energy while promoting new age, cleaner energy substitutes. With India's first smart public bicycle sharing system, Bhopal is already moving with 500 lightweight bicycles operated through 50 fully automatized stations. Making shorter commutes simpler and faster, boosting the spirit of community in the city, convenience to tourists, and encouraging people to stay fit. A biomethanization power generation plant is being set up, which will generate 40 kilowatts of power by bio-waste. A 5-megawatt solar rooftop energy project has been envisioned in the city to fulfill 10% of its energy requirement with solar energy. Consumer usage of electricity is encouraged to shift from conventional bulbs and tubes to energy-saving LED bulbs. A state government subsidy scheme is being conjoined in this effort. With its unique green and blue master plan, Bhopal shall lead India towards an exuberant, prosperous and dynamic future with better, smarter development and more innovation. Welcome to the city of future, Bhopal.
Thank you, Mrs. Das. That was really insightful. Also, the video was shown to showcase that Bhopal now is beyond the industrial disaster that happened long back. So, moving on, now I request our guest of honor, Dr. Noel, to speak a few words, please.
Good evening, and can I say a few words from my heart that I want to address to the global shapers and anyone who wants to shape anything in the world. I am at heart an academic, and what we do as academics is to set examinations and mark scripts and give letters as grades, so A, B, C, and D, etc. So I want to just share with you in the next 5 to 10 minutes just 5 A's that anyone who wants to change the world, who wants to shape the world, would have to have for himself or herself. Now let me mention them so that in case you fall asleep when I'm speaking, you can remember them. So the first A is ambition, the second A is ability, the third is awareness, the fourth A is attitude, and the fifth one is action. Okay, so we are talking about ambition, ability, awareness, attitude, and action. So let me say a few things about ambition. Nobody ever achieved anything in this world without ambition. Sometimes we've made ambition sound selfish, and yes, there could be selfish and self-centered ambition, but you could be ambitious for something that is good. And young people think big, because the problems that we have in this world that need to be solved are not small problems. They are big problems. And we've got to think big in order to be able to solve the problems that confront us. Any nation, any group of people who have made a change in this world had a big dream, had a big ambition. This afternoon I was saying to students that sometimes we start by thinking that we plan. Now the plan is a way in which you implement a dream and an ambition. And I said to them that Martin Luther King never said, I had a plan. If he said I had a plan, nobody would have followed him. But he said, I have a dream. And he spelled out the dream. And there was a plan that backed the dream. And something happened. So think big and dream big. Because if you dream big, something would happen. Yesterday's dream is today's reality, and today's dream will be tomorrow's reality. I challenge you to dream big. But your dreams must be matched to your ability. So the number 2A is your ability. And don't worry if it doesn't match it to it now. Because you can do two things. One is that you can build your ability to match your ambition. So don't match today's ambition with today's ability. You've got to build ability. In fact, your ambition will direct your building of your ability. That's number one. Number two is that don't rely on your ability alone. There are people all around you. Call on partners, partnerships, networks. That is the kind of thing in which we live. No one is an island to himself. Nobody would work and achieve anything by him or herself. We all put together our efforts, and we together build an ability to change the world. You dream and bring people into the dream, you can change the world. Number 3 is awareness. You got to be aware of yourself. Know what you can do. Know what you're strong at. Know where you're weak, so that you bring people to shore up your weaknesses. When people ask me to change my weaknesses, I kind of say to them, look at me. Do you think I want to change my weaknesses? No, I want to exploit my strength. And I want to bring somebody alongside me who would have strengths that would offset my weaknesses. So together we have a synergy that we can build strength and do something. So you got to be self-aware. If you are not aware of yourself and you cannot conquer yourself, you cannot conquer anything. But you also got to be aware of others. What we call mindfulness. Aware of the situation, aware of the context, aware of the people that you are going to bring into the situation to work with you. If you are an unaware person, then you are an unachieving person. You will not be able to achieve anything. So be aware of yourself, be aware of the situations in which you find yourself, but also be aware of others. That's number 3. Number 4 is attitude. It is said that a bad attitude is like a flat tire. It will not take you anywhere. So you've got to have an attitude. Let me leave you with a few things that constitute attitude for me. Number 1 is honesty. Without honesty, you won't get anywhere. You see, you can deceive a lot of people. If you start deceiving yourself, you need a psychiatrist. So you've got to be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Who am I? What can I do? You know, you can, in the UK and the US, we use a phrase, pardon me, let me use the phrase and then I apologize to you about using the phrase. You can bullshit anybody you want, but you cannot bullshit them all the time. And bullshitters never achieve anything. All they do is to talk. So be honest with yourself. After honesty, there is humility, because when you are honest with yourself, you know, I cannot achieve some things. You got to be humble enough to go and check someone who will help you. And it doesn't matter the status of the person that you are going to talk to. If you are status conscious, you never achieve anything. One of the teaching awards that I won in a particular university, I won only because my then 7-year-old son taught me how to do something. And when I applied that, I won an award. I didn't tell him I won the award because he would ask me for money for that. I'm an accountant, my children behave like that. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter where you get knowledge from. You get that knowledge. That it takes humility to be able to do that. The other one I'll talk about is hard work. Hard work never killed any person. Indeed, hard work gives meaning to life. So when you know what you need, you've been humble enough to get it from somebody, you apply it and you work hard at it. And the final one I'll talk about is passion. You know, you've got to be passionate about what you're doing. Look, if I come here and I start talking to you as if, do I even want to be here or not? None of you is going to be persuaded by anything I say. But you've got to be passionate about what you believe in, because then other people will follow you. Because mind you, you are not going to shape the world by yourself. You're going to shape it with people, through people, and for people. And so you've got to be able to persuade them to follow you, or you've got to be able to persuade them to work with you. And without your passion, you cannot persuade anybody. Try it and see. Let somebody who is not passionate come and speak to you and inspire you. No inspiration, nothing at all. But without inspiration, you can't do anything. Because it's not only your head that is going to work, it's your heart that is going to work. And between your head and your heart, you're going to move your body to work and to achieve and transform the world. Shape the world into what it can become and what it ought to become. The final thing is action. Don't just talk. Nike says, do it. I come from a country called Ghana. If there is ever to be any development, Ghana should have been the most developed country in the world, because we have plans upon plans upon plans upon plans upon plans. The only thing we haven't done is to act upon the plans. You can have everything, including the plans, and not act on it. You're not going to get anywhere. So do something. Do something. And don't fear to make mistakes. Who never made a mistake in the world? And if you believe that success and failure are two different directions at a junction, then I want to change your mind. Failure is a success that has not yet arrived because of one or two missing ingredients. So don't fear to fail. Don't hide your failure. Learn from them. And you get on the milestone of success, but do something. My last point, don't worry about who says whatever you are going to do. Don't worry about who thinks, let them laugh. Let them say whatever they want to say. In due course, they'll see that you have changed and shaped the world. I end with a statement that I always make in contexts like this. There are three types of people in this world. Those who make things happen, number one. Number two, those who watch things happen. Number three, those who say, what the hell just happened? I hope that you make things happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Noel. Now I would request all our guests to take a seat down the dais. Thank you. Can I have a round of applause for our guests, please? Well, after some amazing speeches by our honorable guests, it's time for some music and some drinks. So we have a special performance by a rock band, Zuban from Bhopal. Also, I would like to inform all our shapers that most of our stakeholders are here, so you can please feel free to connect with them, and I hope you enjoy the performance. Thank you.
We'll be right back.